Or they're trying to make... Okay. YouTube, this is Kathy with another Halloween DIY costume idea, and this one is inspired by the E.T. bike scene where they fly away into the sky. I got this idea, I believe, off of Pinterest, and I thought it was really cute, and I was like, I want to make something like that. So I did, and basically this is how it turned out. It doesn't take very long. The hardest part, honestly, was probably these handles. Making the E.T. and the towel itself was really easy. If you're interested in this DIY, go ahead and keep watching and I'll show you how to do it. Also, don't forget to subscribe. I will keep posting more of these kind of DIY ideas. Let's get to the video. Things I used besides a hot glue gun, scissors, and spray paint would be a piece of scrap fabric, a small basket, iron-on transfer sheets, 2 paint rollers which I forgot to film, stuffing for the E.T. head, and a white towel or blanket. So I started off by finding a detailed picture of E.T. online and went ahead and printed it out on the iron transfer sheet. And you want to make sure you find out the correct sizing and if your printer has color first off, because mine didn't. And then I went ahead and cut out this E.T. head. After that, I put the E.T. head on top of a piece of scrap fabric and started tracing about 1 inch around the head. And then I went ahead and cut that out and put it on top of the other piece of fabric, retraced it, and started cutting that out as well. Next, I took it over to my ironing board and started peeling off the top of the transfer sheet. And you want to be really careful with this because it is gentle. Then you're going to want to align it on the correct side of the fabric and go ahead and put your wax paper on, and then I just followed the instructions for how long I should iron. After that, I put E.T.'s face towards the other nice side of the fabric, and I pretty much aligned those together. And of course I went ahead and used 4 pins to pin the 2 pieces of fabric together for the next step, which is sewing. And keep in mind, this head is kind of like a pillow, so you need to have a hole somewhere in it so you can flip it, like I'm doing here. And I chose to do the hole at the very top of the head where I knew the towel would be covering these stitches. And of course the fun part where we get to fill up our little head and turn it into a more realistic looking E.T. And then I folded the fabric in and hand sewed the top of the E.T. head. And he ended up looking like this. And then I took my basket that I got from the dollar store and cut the handle off with a pair of scissors. And my total was only $3.27 for 3 items for this project, so I highly recommend going there. And then I just took a nail filer and filed down the edges so that it wasn't sharp enough to pretty much cut me. And then I took my black spray paint and went ahead and sprayed the basket, but I would use gray if you have that on hand. I just happen to have black at home. And oops for the quality, but this is the paint roller that I got from the dollar store, and I asked for a little bit of help cutting off the actual paint part because the only part we need for the project is the handles, and this is what it looked like. And then I used hot glue to glue on the handles, but as you can see, that did not work. So while I thought of a new method, I went ahead and started making the neck strap. So I went ahead and got a piece of white ribbon, tied a knot from the inside, and hot glued it to make sure it was secure in place. Next, I cut out these little holes where I wanted the handlebars to be, and I used wire to tie the handlebars onto the basket, which was pretty much the most secure method. And this is what it ended up looking like. Then I went ahead and grabbed my towel and the E.T. head, and I started putting hot glue on the top of the E.T. and pretty much just gluing the towel around the head. And from there, I just started gluing the towel all the way around the head to pretty much cover up the pillow portion that we made. And I went ahead and put the left side of the towel on top of the right as to follow the way it looked in the movie. Then I went ahead and cut off the excess part of the towel so that it would better fit inside of the small basket. And those scraps became in handy because I ended up using them as structure for the inside of my ET body. So I just used hot glue and started rolling up the towel, and then I started to glue it on the back of the head, as you will see right here. And I ended up repeating this method a third time just to add an extra bit of structure. And lastly, I just put a little bit of hot glue on the back of the basket and glued the towel on to make sure my ET wouldn't move all around. And that is pretty much the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and subscribe. Ride around on a bike. You can't whip a bike, but I tried anyway.